If you wish to receive a transcript, please send $9 to the Missiles of October, What the World Didn't Know, Journal Graphics, 1535 Grant Street, Denver, Colorado, 80203, or call area code 303-831-9000. This has been a special presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
This is ABC.
You've loved it in the past. It's time again for the push, pull, drag extravaganza at Clement Crossroads in Fort Dodge. Push, pull, or drag your used car or truck into Clement Crossroads and you'll get a minimum $2,000 trade-in on selected new and used cars. There are hundreds to choose from. Sharp used cars, 92 program cars, new 92s, and fresh from the factory 93 Chevys, Geos, Oldsmobiles, Cadillacs, and Toyotas. Come on in to Clement Crossroads in Fort Dodge or call us toll-free at 1-800-433-IOWA.
When severe weather hits in central Iowa. When you need your forecast before the mercury drops and the streets are clogged with snow. Turn to Channel 5, the only station with 3 full-time meteorologists and around-the-clock weather information. Simple, reliable weather information from the Channel 5 First Warning Team. Pam Dale, Rick Mitchell, and Dave Rexroth. Only Channel 5 has the people to see severe weather before it threatens your life.
The police, come on out!
In reality, on emergency response.
Do we have any victims? Get out now!
In the world of television, there is only one reality. On-scene emergency response.
How about the long one? Did you see that?
No, I'm afraid I missed that.
What about that line smash to left field? You had to see that one?
You believe I missed that one, too?
Wait. Don't tell me you missed the race.
I didn't see it.
Catch the action you've been missing.
Nailed him. Yes!
On the George Michael Sports Machine.
It's your own personal instant replay.
TV's best weekly sports wrap-up.
You're watching Channel 5. And now, with news, weather, and sports in the first 10 minutes, Steve Karsden, Walnut Longo, meteorologist Dave Rexroth, and Rod Botholt with sports. This is the Channel 5 News 10 o'clock report.
Good evening. Pauletta is off tonight. 2 are dead and many are homeless after a tragic fire broke out in a Des Moines apartment complex early this morning. Police have ruled it arson and are searching for a man who was at the building last night who they believe started the fire. Jackie Jarris has this report.
Police believe this man is responsible for starting the fire that took the life of a Des Moines man and his 9-year-old daughter. 27-year-old Daniel Philip Butler was last seen by police around 2 o'clock this afternoon. He's facing 1 count of first-degree arson and 2 counts of first-degree murder. Police say Butler was involved in a domestic dispute with a tenant at the building.
That dispute carried on for some time via phone and at the apartment complex. There were threats made. We further believe that Mr. Butler came back to the apartment or returned to the apartment around 1:45 in the morning of the 17th and was responsible for the fire that took the lives of the 2 victims.
The victims are identified as John Emmerich and his 9-year-old daughter, Christine. Both died of smoke inhalation. Robin Fry, a resident in the building, was one of the first to be awakened by the fire. He says he believes the Emmerichs didn't get out because the pair took time to get dressed before attempting their escape. Fry said he didn't even know that they were in the building. He thought the Emmerichs were out of town.
My sister came up to me and she asked me, well, where's John? And I said, well, I don't know. I haven't seen him. And I thought he was out of town, but evidently he was still up there with his daughter. And they got trapped in the fire.
There's been no word yet on how much damage the blaze caused, but most of the apartments aren't suitable to live in. The top 2 floors have been gutted, and the bottom 2 have sustained severe water damage. In Des Moines, Jackie Jarris, Channel 5 News.
Well, the American Red Cross has stepped in and is helping victims of the fire. They're donating coats, shoes, food, and a place to stay for those left with little or nothing. The Red Cross has already helped many of the families. If you have anything that you can help out with, contact the Red Cross at 243-4054. A death sentence is not enough for 29-year-old Jeffrey Risley. An Illinois judge has given the Michigan man another 15 years on top of his death sentence for the murder of this 6-year-old girl in Iowa. Risley admitted to kidnapping Kayla Lansing from Illinois. Her body was found in an abandoned barn in northeastern Iowa. The additional 15 years are for aggravated kidnapping. Risley is on death row in an Illinois prison. Well, it is another cold night out there, and Dave Rexroth is in the Weather Center to tell us just how much longer it's going to last.
Well, unfortunately, Steve, it is going to last right through the weekend and into the early part of next week. Then we'll start to see warm up, not real warm, but at least back to normal temperatures. Outside right now, it's still a little bit uncomfortable. On the cool side, Des Moines, 43 degrees, even a few sprinkles falling there in the Des Moines area. Ames is cloudy and 43. Winds right now are from the west at 8 miles per hour. The dew point is 30. That's why our temperatures will be dropping pretty low tonight. Relative humidity is 60% and the pressure is rising. Overnight, it will become clear late overnight towards morning, 29 for the low, and tomorrow morning, mostly sunny throughout the morning, and right around noontime, we'll be at about 46 degrees, so it'll be a nice day tomorrow, comparable to today with a little bit more sunshine, but we'll stay cool, and we'll talk about that warming trend when I come back in just a few minutes. Steve?
Thanks, Dave. Well, turning to the campaign trail now, two rival newspapers have chosen sides in the race for the White House. In Chicago this morning, the newspapers carried their messages of support. The Chicago Tribune has come out in favor of President Bush, and the Chicago Sun-Times has placed its support behind Governor Clinton. With just over 2 weeks to go before the election, President Bush is staying out of the public eye this weekend. The chief executive sent his wife Barbara to San Antonio yesterday while he rests at Camp David before the final debate Monday night in Michigan. Bush got an endorsement from former President Gerald Ford, who's doing the legwork for Mr. Bush in Michigan. Ford says he likes the new debate format with people asking the questions.
Debates are now institutionalized in our presidential election process. The variation in format is probably good. So overall, I think it's a good process so that the public can see the people and learn their views and their policies.
Democrat Bill Clinton is talking softly while carrying a big lead. Clinton arrived in Ypsilanti, Michigan, where he will rest his raspy voice and get ready for Monday night's debate. The Arkansas governor is leading President Bush in big electoral states like New York, New Jersey, Ohio, Illinois, and California. After Monday's debate, Clinton says he'll take his message of change to the traditionally Republican states of Nevada, Wyoming, and Montana.
This is not a race to just defeat my opponent. This is a race to shape the future of the country. So it's not about landslides. It's about what's going to happen to the American people.
Independent candidate Ross Perot took to the airwaves tonight to focus on the economy. Perot spent the first half of the hour-long program telling the country about himself. The rebroadcast of his economic message followed. The Texas billionaire offered his prescription to improve the American economy and said his plan is flexible, but said the time to move is now.
A better idea is all it takes. What is the litmus test that it must go through? Is it fair? Is this the best plan for the American people, right? Let's assume you put this in and 6 months later somebody has a better idea. We can change it. But the thing we can't do is just sit here playing Lawrence Welk music, wonderful, 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 doing nothing.
Well, if the election were held today, Newsweek says Governor Clinton would be the winner. The magazine's latest poll gives Clinton 46% of the vote, the president 31%, and Ross Perot 14%. 9% of those polled are still undecided. Protests in Johannesburg, South Africa top our world headlines tonight. Thousands of Zulus marched through the streets of Johannesburg today protesting a ban on tribal weapons. The ban is the result of a summit between F.W. de Klerk and Nelson Mandela. The Zulus are accused of using their weapons to attack, but they say spears and clubs are only part of their tribal culture. United Nations arms inspectors toured missile sites in Iraq today and say they encountered no obstacles. An Iraqi foreign minister has pledged to cooperate with the mission and ensure the safety of its members. World leaders and dignitaries gathered in Berlin today for the funeral of former West German Chancellor Willy Brandt. The one-time mayor of West Berlin, before becoming chancellor in 1969, played a key role in ending the Cold War. Brandt died of cancer October 8th. And Sinead O'Connor was booed off the stage at Madison Square Garden last night. She was performing in a concert celebrating the 30th anniversary of Bob Dylan's first album. O'Connor sang a song, then left the stage in tears. It was 2 weeks ago. She outraged television viewers by tearing up a picture of the Pope during a Saturday Night Live performance. The recent abduction and murder of stranded motorist Tammy Zawicki is still on the minds of Iowans. Today, 400 women got first-hand instruction on what to do when their car breaks down. The program is called Women's Car Care and Safety Seminar. It provided information on the do's and don'ts when your car breaks down, when to call for help, and warning signs of dangerous situations.
We put on a program to try to raise people's awareness that when they come out on the highways, what to do, what not to do if you break down. The unfortunate thing was that we had a case happen in Illinois where a young lady lost her life. So it really has emphasized this a great deal, and what we're trying to do is just get people to plan ahead and think about when they're going to be traveling, what to do, what not to do, and how to help themselves.
Mechanics from Amoco and Metro Ford dealerships gave step-by-step instructions on how to check your car before you travel. When we come back, we'll have the weather with Dave, and we'll show you why it's so important that your children don't talk to strangers. Stay with us.
First, we gave you the attractive Jeep Cherokee Sport, but you said,
more. Give me more.
So we added a 190 horsepower engine, but you still said,
more. Give me more.
So we added air conditioning,
more.
Power steering,
more.
And AM/FM stereo, all for a great price.
Less. Make it less.
Okay?
Okay.
So hurry to your Jeep and Eagle dealer, look at a Jeep Cherokee Sport and say, sold!
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer.
The world's greatest pantomimist comes to Stevens Auditorium in Ames Tuesday, October 20th at 8 p.m. Marcel Marceau will bring his special world to life for families and theater lovers alike. Tickets to Marcel Marceau are on sale now at the Iowa State Center box office and all Ticketmaster outlets, or you can charge by phone at 233-1888 in Ames or 243-1888 in Des Moines. Marcel Marceau at Stevens Auditorium in Ames Tuesday, October 20th at 8 p.m. You won't ever hear anything like it.
Last year, Channel 5 provided free educational materials to classrooms around central Iowa to help children learn more about the weather. If you didn't receive a Channel 5 Weather School kit, there's still plenty of time to sign up. You'll receive a classroom weather guide, a cloud poster, and a free software kit. To receive Weather School, send a letter including your grade and teacher's name on school letterhead to Weather School in care of WOI TV, Ames, Iowa 50011.
This week, Channel 5 News has been running an exclusive special report called Don't Talk to Strangers. Response to this report has been so overwhelming, we're recapping the series tonight and tomorrow in case you missed some of it. Hundreds of children are abducted by strangers each year in this country. Rod Fowler reports on an experiment we conducted. The results could save your child's life.
My kitty cat ran away. Can you help me find it?
Did he say something that made you go with him?
This is a friend of yours because he said he knows you.
How many minutes did you find them?
100.
Meet 5-year-old Kyle. Like many other little boys and girls, his parents have told him many times, don't talk to strangers. But does he understand the warnings? We decided to find out. With Kyle's mother's consent, we put a microphone on our news director. We then sent him out to act as an abductor. Kyle's mother stood with me and a photographer to see what would happen.
I lost a puppy. Have you seen him?
I'm very scared he's going to go with a stranger.
Yeah, but you said you've talked to him about this, haven't you?
Yes.
I think I know your mom. She has blonde hair, doesn't she?
Yes, her name is Karen.
Yeah, Karen. Yeah.
Although it took some persuasion, it didn't take long for Kyle to run off into the woods hand in hand with a total stranger.
Yeah. There he is. There he is. Come and help me
As you might imagine, Mom was horrified. Her son left with someone he's never met.
Do we go to strangers?
He said your name.
Uh-huh.
And he knows you.
He knows me, huh?
Hmm?
But do you know him?
No.
Then he's a stranger.
What you just saw was not an isolated event. In fact, time and time again, when we approached a child, it was easy to get that child to go with us into the woods or even into a car. Here's another example.
The puppies are in my car up here near where your dad is. You want to look at him and see if he'll give you one?
Once again, this child's mother is with me, hidden behind a tree. The 5-year-old boy was asked if he wanted to see some cute little puppies.
They're really cute.
At first, he was reluctant, but within a couple of minutes, he walked off with a stranger. And once again, Mom can't believe what she sees.
I saw that he really had to make it sound good or something that he would go with him, but at first he didn't want to go, but he did go. And it broke my heart.
The sad part is, this is happening all over the country, all of the time. The only difference is, it's not pretend. Why are children so willing to put their lives in the hands of a complete stranger?
The children understand what a stranger is. They understand the concept of a stranger. However, they have stereotypes of what strangers are. Oftentimes, they will see a stranger as someone that isn't dressed quite as nice or someone that doesn't look quite as nice.
That may be a good point, because Ken was dressed nicely, and he did come across as someone you could probably trust.
This is probably the common misconception, is that a stranger is someone who's going to be evil looking with the dark hat and the trench coat, and we need to portray to our children that it can be anyone. It can be someone down the street that they know on a casual basis. It can be their next door neighbor.
Rod Fowler, Channel 5 News.
Tomorrow night, we'll recap more of this special report. Then next week, Rod continues the series. He'll talk with the parents of Jacob Wetterling. It was 3 years ago next week. Jacob was abducted and has never been seen again. Rod will also visit a school as McGruff, the crime dog, teaches children to be careful around strangers. Very good report. I can't say enough about it.
It is definitely gripping, that's for sure.
It really is.
And we have some other news to talk about besides that kind of serious nature. It is the weather, a little bit on the cool side, and it's going to stay that way. I'll have your weather recap coming up right after this.
Serve anything less than AE chocolate milk to my guests? Oh, perish the thought. AE for me.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, where's the biggest sale of all?
At Redeker's in Boone, where the most spectacular anniversary sale in all our history is going on right now. Nothing reflects your good taste like fine furniture. And right now, every chair, every table, every sofa, all our fine furniture at incredible savings. There's never been an anniversary sale like the anniversary sale on now at Redeker's in Boone. Come see for yourself.
Every cell in the human brain has a purpose. Some control body functions. Others control thinking and feeling. Still others regulate memory. All are vulnerable to the effects of marijuana. So, how stupid do you have to be to keep smoking it?
You people got a story to tell. Everyday people.
What brought you to this place?
The plus side was more than I dreamed.
You people are all kinds of people. Unforgettable.
Are you there, caller? Hi.
You're a part of the story. You people are all kinds of people. Like you.
As you saw on the almanac there, we had a low of 26 in the Des Moines area this morning. That was well below normal, but not the coldest spot by any means. Up to the northwest, it was even cooler. Spencer at 24 degrees, but the real cold air last night was up in the northeast. They broke a new record in Dubuque, dropped down to 23 degrees. Their old record was 26, and they crushed it by 3 degrees. Waterloo, even colder than us, 22. Also 22 for the cool spot and the low temperature in Mason City. And you turn this around, look at high temperatures today. When you start out that cold, you're probably going to be fairly cool in the afternoon. And that was definitely the case, generally in the upper 40s to low 50s around the state for highs. Ottumwa at 53, Lamoni only at 51 for the high, Fort Dodge at 50, Ames 51, and Waterloo topped that only at 50 degrees, so temperatures were right around 20 degrees below normal, what they should be for this time of year. Now outside Des Moines at this hour, it's still pretty chilly out there. 42 degrees under a cloudy sky, also 42 and cloudy in Ames. Winds are from the northwest at 6 miles per hour right now. The dew point is low at 30. Relative humidity is 62%, and the pressure 30.30 inches, and it is rising. We do have some showers to talk about, just some light sprinkles in and around the central part of the state and down to the south. Here you can see some sprinkles moving into the Ottumwa area. All these showers and light sprinkles are moving off to the southeast about 35 miles per hour. So in the Des Moines area, we may see a sprinkle or two. There's another area up between Waterloo and Sioux City, but it's going to be moving out of here in the next couple of hours, and the rest of the night will be dry. Now on the national map, we do show those showers in and around Iowa, but generally high pressure is taking over the central part of the country, and that means we're going to have continued cold weather. It's all behind this very strong front that's now moved well off to the southeast. A few showers down in the Florida area, but again, the temperatures are the big story. Some warmth out to the west as a little bubble of air starts to warm up out there, and we'll get a southwesterly flow eventually, so we are going to warm up, but it's going to stay cold for quite some time. Tomorrow it is going to continue to be cool despite lots of sunshine, a mostly sunny day tomorrow. Very similar today with just a few less clouds. One more disturbance moving in from the northwest, but it's going to stay well off to our west. Will be dry, but as I said, very cool again. Temperatures about the northern two-thirds of the state in the 40s and some 50s down in about the southern third. Your 5-cast for the rest of the weekend in Des Moines and surrounding area. Maybe a few sprinkles for the next couple of hours. Otherwise, some clouds around and becoming clear late tonight towards morning. A low of 29. Winds will be turning to the north about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, mostly sunny. The sunshine's not really going to warm us up that much, though. 52 with a north wind, very light, and partly cloudy tomorrow night, and 29 for the low. And Monday, partly to mostly cloudy with the chance for a shower in the afternoon, a high around 55. After that, we'll start to warm up, and we'll take a look at the extended outlook in just a few minutes.
And we still have Indian summer coming our way, right?
Hopefully, that's right.
Thanks a lot. Well, game 1 of the series is in the bag.
You betcha, and the Braves are darn happy about it. We'll tell you all about it when we come back.
What are you doing?
Phantom of the Opera by Ken Hill.
I did as I promised.
Live on stage.
I sang Marguerite for you one last time.
At last, the Phantom has arrived. Ken Hill's original production of Phantom of the Opera.
The chandelier!
No, get away from that! Phantom.
I'd go see it again. I thought it was wonderful.
Tickets on sale now at the Iowa State Center box office, Ticketmaster, or charge by phone.
What is this? Looks good. Ooh. Here we go. I got it. No. How about this one? No. Hey, maybe. No. Here, this'll work. No. Hey, I got it.
If you can't get your hands on a coupon, just call us.
Do you wish you had the ability to tell where the market is going? The only absolute about the market is that the value of stocks and bonds will change. What are the unchanging values in your life? When you put your faith in God and His unchanging truths, then you'll be able to deal with the highs and the lows, and you'll become bullish on life.
From your friends at First Assembly of God on Merle Hay Road.
If you're a woman, or there's a woman in your life who has a drinking or other drug problem, contact the Harold Hughes Women's Recovery Center. We can help.
Are you ready for some football? Are you ready to rock and roll?
Are you ready for the 3 best reasons to watch ABC's Monday Night Football?
The 3 of us?
1, we've got the NFL's best matchups.
Then it's us.
2, you get to see the league's top teams.
Now us?
And 3, it's followed by the Channel 5 News with Rod Fowler and Gail Nye. They're on your side.
Gee, did we even make the top 10?
The World Series is underway down in Dixie. Game 1 between the Braves and the Blue Jays billed as a pitcher's duel, and it was just that. Each pitcher made one big mistake. Tom Glavine served up a solo homer to Joe Carter in the 3rd, but Jack Morris gave up a 3-run shot to Damon Berryhill in the 6th. It's over, but we can't show you highlights because CBS is still on the air. 3-1 the final. Game 2 tomorrow night in Atlanta. This weekend stop on the PGA Tour down in Florida at the Disney Golf Classic, and they are tearing up the course at Lake Buena Vista. Defending champ Mark O'Meara and Ted Schultz leading the way at 20 under par. Frank Connor and J.P. Hayes are one off the pace final round tomorrow as they try to sink even deeper below par. And coming up on Sports Extra, a wild day in college football. Give you a little taste of what's in store. Iowa State put together an offensive explosion against Kansas, scoring 40 straight points, including one touchdown on the fumble-rooski, but believe it or not, it was not enough, because the Jayhawks rallied to score 29 in a row for a 50-47 win. The game winner on this fumble recovery. Biggest comeback in KU history, a heartbreaker for ISU. We'll have more highlights and post-game comments on Sports Extra. The news was better for Iowa. The Hawks picked up a win at Illinois thanks to a good news, bad news day for Jim Hartlieb. He was a brilliant quarterback for 3 quarters, but injured a shoulder later in the game and may be done for the year. More on that and a complete wrap-up of your college football Saturday coming up on Sports Extra. Never seen anything like that Iowa State-Kansas game. Unbelievable.
And they're still trying to figure it out.
I've said unbelievable about 500 times today, and I still can't believe it.
Thanks, Rod. Still to come, cooking up the perfect complement to a brisk autumn day. Stay with us.
They're a new generation of Democrats, Bill Clinton and Al Gore, and they don't think the way the old Democratic Party did. They've called for an end to welfare as we know it, so welfare can be a second chance, not a way of life. They've sent a strong signal to criminals by supporting the death penalty, and they've rejected the old tax and spend politics. Clinton's balanced 12 budgets, and they've proposed a new plan investing in people, detailing $140 billion in spending cuts they'd make right now. Clinton Gore, for people, for a change.
You've loved it in the past. It's time again for the push, pull, drag extravaganza at Clement Crossroads in Fort Dodge. Push, pull, or drag your used car or truck into Clement Crossroads and you'll get a minimum $2,000 trade-in on selected new and used cars. There are hundreds to choose from. Sharp used cars, 92 program cars, new 92s, and fresh from the factory 93 Chevys, Geos, Oldsmobiles, Cadillacs, and Toyotas. Come on in to Clement Crossroads in Fort Dodge or call us toll-free at 1-800-433-IOWA.
This year, one congressman has led the Iowa delegation in a number of important areas. Jim Ross Lightfoot spent more tax dollars on his office expenses than any other Iowa congressman. Jim Ross Lightfoot spent $239,000 tax dollars on mailings, worse than any other Iowa congressman. Jim Ross Lightfoot bounced 100 more checks than any other Iowa congressman. Jim Ross Lightfoot is a leader. It's just in the wrong direction.
How about the long one? Did you see that?
No, I'm afraid I missed that.
What about that line smash to left field? You had to see that one?
You believe I missed that one, too?
Wait. Don't tell me you missed the race.
I didn't see it.
Catch the action you've been missing.
Nailed him. Yes!
On the George Michael Sports Machine.
It's your own personal instant replay.
TV's best weekly sports wrap-up.
Well, today's weather was a perfect day to warm up with a good bowl of chili, and that's exactly what 150 people were doing today at the annual Chili Cook-Off. Folks spiced it up for a good cause. All the money raised goes to the Variety Club of Iowa. Over $1,000 was raised for needy kids. Spiced it up with some nice warm temperatures.
Sounds good, yeah. It needed it today because it did feel like fall, but we are going to have a warm-up after the next couple of days. Tonight's still going to be on the chilly side, though. Becoming clear eventually tonight, dropping down to 29 degrees, and then for tomorrow morning, mostly sunny, and by noontime, up around 46, and we'll top out around 52 tomorrow with lots of sunshine. Monday, a chance for showers and 55, and then you see the warm-up. Tuesday, Wednesday in the 60s with more sunshine, and even low 70s are possible by Thursday, so it's going to be Indian summer, just like you said, Steve.
That'll be a change. Thanks a lot. That's our report for this Saturday night. Thanks for joining us. Sports Extra's coming up next. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
I'm Abigail Van Buren, also known as Dear Abby. On Election Day, Iowa voters will have an opportunity to pass Amendment 1 and add women to the Iowa Constitution. Well, I was born and raised in Sioux City, Iowa, and I'd like to tell you what Amendment 1 really means, equality. So don't let anyone mislead you. Take my advice, and on November 3rd, vote yes on Amendment 1.
Equality pays. Vote yes on 1.
It's a place to laugh, a place to smile, a place to spend a little while.
Sounds like a shootout at the Cuckoo Corral.
Where lovers woo.
Ow!
And lovers fight.
Shut up!
It can happen day or night. Some things change. Some stay the same. But here, everybody knows your name. There's no place like Cheers.
Weeknights at 10:30, only on Channel 5.
Welcome to Channel 5 Sports Extra. Tonight we're keeping you in touch with your college football Saturday, including a costly win for the Hawkeyes and a crushing defeat for the Cyclones. Hello again, everybody. We start tonight at Cyclone Stadium in Ames with one of the craziest football games you will ever see. Iowa State put some unbelievable numbers on the board against Kansas today, but somehow lost the game. Even after you see it, you won't believe it, I promise. Here's Channel 5's Jeff Grummer with the highlights.
An early Cyclone sprint was a sign of things to come because this homecoming game with Kansas would be on the move from start to finish. In the first quarter, the Jayhawks were a step ahead with a 14-0 lead. When Sherman Williams goes 18 yards for the score, it was 14-7. Then on the final play of the quarter, Chip Hillary finds George White from 32 yards out, 21-7 after one, and we're just getting started. The second quarter was all ISU. Williams from 12 yards out, 21-14. Then a Cyclone surprise. Quarterback Bob Utter goes one way, and lineman Jim Thompson and the ball go the other. The fumble Ruski for 25 yards, and it's 21 apiece.
It worked great. Once I looked around and just saw green, I was like, well, all I have to do is run. Just don't trip or something,
And for a while, this game was quite a trip. Iowa State led 27-21 at the break. Then in the third, the Cyclones pour it on. Chris Ulrich from 7 yards out, it's 40-21. Still in the third, James McMillian goes 17 yards, and everything's pointing to a Cyclone victory as Iowa State leads 47-21. But that's when the Cyclones wave goodbye a bit too soon.
All I can say is that we just let down in the fourth quarter. We only played 2 quarters, second and third.
And here's the Kansas comeback countdown. Chip Hillary starts it off in the third. Then in the fourth, it's Hillary to Dwayne Chandler, and it's 47-35. Matt Gay gets into the end zone, 47-42. Then with 6 minutes to go, the turnaround ends with a turnover. Larry Thiel picks up a Bob Utter fumble. 37 yards later, it's 29 straight points and the Kansas capper, as this one leaves the Cyclones in shock, losing 50-47. So not even 40 unanswered points by the Cyclones in the middle of the football game can stop a Kansas comeback in a game that featured a little bit of everything except the most important thing, a Cyclone victory.
You can't say anything but except you make your own breaks and you make the thing. We had the thing in control. In the end, we got beat because both sides of the ball collaborated to get beat.
Mentally, we played our hearts out, and physically we do the same way. And we just didn't do it for the last 11 minutes.
And those 11 minutes will be hard to shake. Jeff Grummer, Channel 5 Sports.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Still don't believe it. Elsewhere in the Big 8 today, Colorado kicks a field goal, 53 yards, last play to tie Oklahoma. Where's the overtime? Oklahoma State beats Mizzou. They'll host Iowa State next, and Utah State beat K-State 28-16. The Iowa Hawkeyes picked up a big win in Illinois today, but they may have lost quarterback Jim Hartlieb for the rest of the season in the process. Let's go to Champaign, where it was all Iowa in the first half. Ryan Terry puts the Hawks on the board, scampering 10 yards for the score, 7-0 Iowa. Hartlieb had a great first half, 16 of 18, including this 21-yard TD strike to Harold Jasper, who makes a beautiful catch at the back of the end zone. 17-0 Hawks at the break. Illinois got on the board in the third quarter, but Hartlieb answered, finding Alan Cross on the play fake for the score to put Iowa up 24-7. But here's the play that put the damper on a big win. The ball is loose, and Hartlieb goes for it. What he gets is a dislocated shoulder and a golf cart ride off the field. Hayden Fry says Hartlieb will be out quite a while and may be gone for the rest of the season. That takes the edge off a big 24-14 Iowa win. Let's run down the rest of the Big Ten scores for you. Michigan rolls over Indiana. Michigan State wins in the Dome. Ohio State gets a Big Ten victory, and Wisconsin holds off Purdue. Central and Simpson battled it out for number 1 of the Iowa Conference at Indianola. The Storm from Simpson score first. Scott Driscoll to Rob Ricketts in the flat, and he's gone. 55 yards for the touchdown, 7-0 Storm. Central tied it up at the half, then put it away in the fourth quarter. Shad Flynn over the middle to Mike Van Voorst, 21 yards and a touchdown. The Dutchmen take the wind out of the Storm. 16-7. And a couple other scores to pass your way from around the state. Number 1 UNI stays perfect with a big win on the road, and Dayton dumps Drake 38-9. That takes care of the action from around the state of Iowa, but there's more football to come. We'll run down the top 25 scoreboard after this 60-second timeout.
We didn't ask for it. But unless something is done, every household in Polk County is going to pay higher property taxes just to keep prairie meadows like this empty. At least now you have a choice. You can continue to pay for prairie meadows, or you can vote yes to pass Public Measure A. Stop the Prairie Meadows tax train with the first step toward taxpayer relief in Polk County. Public Measure A. We either pass it or we pay. Vote yes Election Day.
Last year, Channel 5 provided free educational materials to classrooms around central Iowa to help children learn more about the weather. If you didn't receive a Channel 5 Weather School kit, there's still plenty of time to sign up. You'll receive a classroom weather guide, a cloud poster, and a free software kit. To receive Weather School, send a letter including your grade and teacher's name on school letterhead to Weather School in care of WOI TV, Ames, Iowa 50011.
Busy day in the top 25. Let's go to the scoreboard and show you who picked up the wins quickly. Washington over the Ducks. Miami wins big. Bama stays perfect. So does A&M. FSU rallies past Georgia Tech. Stanford falls to Arizona. BC shocks Penn State. Georgia over Vandy. Syracuse survives. South Carolina upset Mississippi State. Another upset. Virginia falls. USC edges Cal. Clemson wins. NC State and Virginia tie. Washington State over UCLA. And Florida dumps Auburn. And that was quick. We're out of time. See you tomorrow night for Week 7 in the NFL. So long, everybody.
I am Duncan MacLeod, born 400 years ago in the Highlands of Scotland.